恭敬大德圣听，为此法会及一切众生，请赞妙法轮教导我们如何了生脱死离苦得乐，速证无生。Well, the Sangha, with great virtue, out of compassion, for the sake of this assembly and all living beings, please turn the wonderful Dhamma well to teach us how to live suffering and meditate bliss and birth and death, and quickly realize non-birth.
南无萨旦陀斯伽多耶阿拉诃提三藐三菩提舍。
南无萨旦陀娑伽多耶阿拉哈提三藐三菩提舍。
南无萨旦陀斯伽多耶阿拉诃提三藐三菩提舍。
南无萨旦陀娑伽多耶阿拉哈提三藐三菩提舍。
南无萨旦陀斯伽多耶阿拉诃提三藐三菩提舍。
南无萨旦陀娑伽多耶阿拉哈提三藐三菩提舍。
好，我们大家一起念开经偈，包括等一下英文。无上甚深微妙法，百千万劫难遭遇。我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。英文 Supreme and wondrous Dhamma, subtle and profound, rare in encountered, even in a million years. But now we see it, hear it, and accept it reverently. May we truly understand Buddha's actual meaning. 诸佛菩萨、仙公上人，各位在座的佛友以及线上的善知识，大家晚安，阿弥陀佛。今天是12月29号，2018年星期六在伯克利这边与大家来一起研究这个《无量寿经》。这个今天再过3天就已经是要换年度了，就是我们剩下今年最后的3天，其实剩下2天多了。那我们像大家年终都是很忙，我们的释法师，还有那个金传师。还有建和师，他们以前在伯克利这边，现在都在台湾那边，在那里弘法，在那里跟大家在结法言。
Buddhists and Bodhisattvas, Venerable Master Hua, Dharma friends in the assembly. Today is Saturday, December 29, 2018. In a few more days, 3 days, the year is going to be over. So this is going to be the last lecture on the Sutra of Infinite Life. Dharma Master Hangshi and his entourage is in Taiwan at this point speaking the Dharma, which is why we're in his place speaking the Dharma of Amitabha Buddha.
我们今天Berkeley这边礼拜六都每个礼拜六都有举行法会。那像今天都是在念佛，今天我们念佛非常殊胜。那参加的人员也蛮踊跃的，因为年终的我想大家都，尤其现在是一个假日，holiday season， 所以就大家蛮踊跃来的。
Every Saturday, I would like to remind everyone that we do have a Dharma assembly, Buddha recitation session. Today was the same, and it was a supreme assembly event. I do understand that during these holidays, everybody's busy and probably occupied with other matters.
好，我们今天我想给大家听一下我们伯克利这边的一个念佛的情况。这个都是现场的，我想大家也可以来一起念都可以。陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛。南无OK， 我们这个是一个6日的 sixth letter，and now 它会改变4日的一个唱法，4日的。好，这个好 ，this is a 4 letter， 阿弥陀佛。阿弥陀佛，阿弥陀佛，阿弥陀佛，阿弥陀佛，阿弥陀佛，阿弥陀佛，阿弥陀佛，阿弥陀佛，阿弥陀佛，阿弥陀佛，阿弥。Okay, then so this is we chanting here, and okay, fine, we have another. So this is will be ending when ending will fast, chanting fast. 就是说我们在念佛到快完的时候。 OK， 像这个就是一个修行念佛修行的方式的方法。那就是说要念到你要念到快板的时候就没有妄想进去，这个是一个很好的修行方式。念完的时候大家都会非常法喜充满，这个是非常不同的一个修行。
There was a actual recording of one of our Buddha mindful sessions, starting with the 6-character recitation, Namo Amitabha, and in the middle we changed to just reciting the Buddha's name, Amitabha, ending at the end with a faster pace chanting of the Buddha's name, and the reason for that is to help us rid ourselves of false thoughts, to guard against the false thought from coming into our mind. And every time we end a session in that manner, everybody is filled with the Dharma bliss. So it's a very effective way for cultivation.
好，我们现在请大家翻开第6页的 page 6，第6跟第7，我们要念中文，念完再念英文。这个在中段就是现五轴刹开始到沉醉正觉，我们念一遍。我们今天开始就要讲从这个开始来讲。
So let's turn to page 6 of the sutra, the middle block of text, and that's what we're going to be speaking on today.
好，我们大家一起念中文，大家一起念，我们节省时间。好，贤五轴刹，随顺情生，事有成垢，木易金流，天暗视之，得凡痴持，灵行异从，往以道场，吉祥感真。表彰工作，哀受思潮，复佛树下，结福而坐，奋大光明，使佛知之。摩率见属观属，而来逼视，自以自立，皆令降伏，以微妙法，得微妙法。沉醉正觉。好，英文。
In order to accord with living beings, they each comes the world of the 5 turbidities. With the appearance of having defilements, they each bathe in the Narayana river, and a deva lowers a tree branch to help them climb out of the river. Celestial birds follow them to the place of awakening. Swasti sees these auspicious signs and wishes to make an offering of grass. Each of them kindly accepts the offering and spreads the grass as a seed under the Bodhi tree. They then sit in full lotus and radiate a boundless light that startles Mara, the king of the demons. In response, Mara attacks them with his demonic hordes. However, the demons are all defeated by the power of their wisdom. They then realize the wondrous, subtle Dharma and accomplish the ultimate right awakening.
好，我们从就是菩萨，就是未来佛，就是释迦牟尼佛，就是说前面我们都讲过他修行苦恨6年，然后没有得到很好的这个效果，然后他改变中道，因为改变中道以后就给那个牧羊女给他供养，受供养，然后这个跟他一起的5个比丘就看到他已经不再修以前的这个修行方式，就离开，他们就到鹿野苑去，那里去离开他。
A preview of today's section of the sutra. We're at a point where the Bodhisattva, the Buddha to be, has gone through 6 years of extreme ascetic practice and came to the realization that that kind of practice is too extreme to one end. So reverting back, picking the middle way, and accepting, for instance, the offering of milky rice from a maiden, and to restore his physical well-being. However, when that happened, the 5 people who were following him saw that he has turned around from ascetic practice to go back to a form of original practice. They were dismayed and left, went to the deer park where they continued their own cultivation.
所以他这个6年修行的时候，就是苦行，他这是一种视线，他像这个视线在这个五则恶世的时间，来随着众生，所有一切的众生来，因为他在5则里面，就他苦修行里面，他就有反正就不跟众生一样嘛，就有身体的一些成垢，所以他这个目前我们所讲的就是讲这一段，那个有了成垢以后，他就想要去河里面去洗澡，那洗澡的时候，这个魔王就跟他做一个开玩笑，就把他变成这个层次很高，给他爬不起来。那这个中间就有树神来帮他忙，把那个树枝按下来，给他盘起来，盘这个树枝起来，然后他就走去这个他想要修行，因为不再做苦行，所以他就去想一个地方树下来坐下来修行。
Of course, the 6 years of extreme ascetic practice was a mean for the Buddha to be, to demonstrate to living beings like ourselves a certain principle, and that principle is that number one, he himself was just like one of us, one of the multitude of living beings, and that the living beings must pick the right path, not an extreme one, like he had gone through. So he thoroughly demonstrated that that is a dead end, and that multitude, the living beings of our time in this time period of 5 turbidities must all are afflicted by these kind of unnecessary ascetic conditions. So reverting back to the middle way, he understood that he must cleanse himself. Thereupon he went into the river to take a bath, and of course at that point the demon king Mara played a trick and erected tall walls around the river where he was bathing so that he couldn't get out. Yet at that moment, the king of trees pressed upon a tree branch to reach the Buddha to be, so that he could latch on to the branch and get out and continue his own cultivation. And of course, this time is going to be a more modulated approach.
好，这个从这个经文里面，我们稍微解释这个五则差。五则，现在我们就是在五则里面。现在我们的这个时空，这个差就是有一个时空时间，然后五则就是说像命轴啊，见轴啊。 烦恼轴啊，众生轴，还有劫轴。等一下，我们再解释一下这个五轴。
Let's now go into an explanation of what does it mean to be the term 5 turbidities. Well, we are in that time and space that is called the 5 turbidities, namely the turbidity of lifespan, the turbidity of false thought, turbidity of affliction, the turbidity of multitude of living beings, and finally the turbidity of Kalpa, a time span.
好像这个命轴，就是说我们现在这一个时空的人，我们现在的人就是寿命很短，只有100岁，没有像其他的都是1000岁、万岁，没有，就是说一个命轴。
The first turbidity, that of a lifespan. We're in that trap right now. Our lifespan is relatively short. During this Dharma ending age, our lifespan is no more than 100 years. And that is what's called the turbidity or defilement by a short lifespan.
好，见走就是说邪见，非常你所看到的所知见，这些都不正确的，都是邪的，然后非常炽盛，所以众生没有正知见。
The second one is a turbidity of view. In this time, there's raging demonic views going on, and living beings becoming more and more deluded and lack of proper view.
好，烦恼着，这个每一个人几乎都有烦恼，因为这个烦恼就是说从我们的贪嗔痴，诱惑，受这个贪嗔痴的诱惑，我们没有办法去好好的修智慧，就是戒定慧，这个是一个非常我们受了这个贪嗔痴三毒的害。
The third one is the turbidity of affliction when we're troubled. We're troubled because we are afflicted by these three poisons of greed, anger, and lack of wisdom. And because of that condition, we ending up having a lot of trouble and a lot of affliction. And the reason for our condition is because we don't know how to cultivate the precepts, samadhi, and wisdom. Those are the three unfailing methods to get rid of the three poisons that we just mentioned.
好，第四个就是众生走，因为这个走的劫走的这个众生呢，他都很少有善根善行，不是说完全没有，是很少很少，有的人就是很少，也因为就是刚才三毒的这个问题。
The fourth one is the turbidity of the multitude of living beings, and these are not any living beings. These are the living beings of our times, and they are characterized by lacking in wholesome conduct. So they're not just any living beings, the living beings of our times that do have wholesome deeds, but are greatly lacking in them.
好，第五个就是劫走，劫走就是说，好像是饥饿啦，还有瘟疫啊、病啊，还有一些刀兵劫，就是战争啊这些的祸害，像这个像有这个劫，我们现在是有，那什么时候才有？就是这个2万岁以后才有这个浊，就开始有慢慢一直浊，有产生这个污浊的这个。那2万岁以上，然后3、4、5、6、7、8这个万刚才讲的是2万一直到8万岁，这个就都没有这个问题，没有这个浊的问题、污浊的问题。
The last one, Kalpa turbidity, is a time period where calamities abound, have a lot of problems of disasters, including famine, pestilence, warfare. These all crops up all over the place, creating a great deal of suffering. This particular phenomenon arises after 20,000 years, and lasting 10,000 years, starting between 30,000 to 80,000 years. This particular time period and its characteristic is then gone.
像释迦牟尼佛，他示现在这个五浊里面，寿命只有100岁，甚至于释迦牟尼佛他的寿命就是80岁就往生了，然后这个就是说100岁以内，那这个也就是说，释迦牟尼佛他这个是他的发愿， 他愿意在这个命轴很短命的这个轴的时候来实现，因为他是贤劫的第4尊佛。那其他的第1、第2、第3，他们都是2万年以上的，只有释迦牟尼佛是100年的，因为他这个曾经发愿这个最大的这个他手很珍贵的来度众生的这个一个他的大愿这个是给我们末法时代一个非常要珍惜的。
People's lifespan, of course, are not always the way we have it, about 100 years and no more. Shakyamuni Buddha chose to appear in the world system during this time period to demonstrate this particularly relatively short lifespan that we enjoy. So he himself did not even make it to 100 years. He was in the world for 80 years. Now, of course, he was the 4th Buddha of our particular time period, of our Kalpa. Before him, there were 3 other Buddhas, and they all enjoy much longer dwelling in the world than Shakyamuni Buddha. So short lifespan is a characteristic of our particular time period.
好，我们下面的句子就是随顺情生，就是随着我们这一个五浊恶世的众生，这个意识随着我们，因为释迦牟尼佛他知道众生想什么，还有怎么去做，那而且也随着众生的本性，种种的因缘来方便示现说法，所以这个在《法华经》里面有跟舍利佛讲过。
The second sentence of this block of text in the sutra is about according to the multitude of living beings. According means to go along with them, means to go along with the living beings. And the multitude of living beings, of course, mean all the living beings in this particularly difficult time period. Just like in the Lotus Sutra, in the experience chapter, the sutra says, Sariputra, I also am like this.
好，就是说它是一种实现，来说法，来教育，给我们知道这个，这个就像他去做这个苦行的时候，它也是一种方便法，其实释迦牟尼佛他身心是本来都清净的，他没有什么成过，没有什么就是污垢，就是说应我们五浊的众生来示范，像他在修行的时候，他做各种的苦行，进食或者是他甚至于在经典上都说有睡钉床或者是倒立而行然后给太阳暴晒冬天做冰块的地方所以就是说来做这一些常年难忍的这个苦行。
Of course, again, the Buddha appear in the world is for the purpose of demonstrating that the correct way to liberation And as mentioned, he first demonstrated the ineffectiveness of ascetic practice. And of course, the Buddha himself is ultimately pure. So to go through all these defiled practices is just an expedient mean for him to demonstrate certain principle. And so he went through almost, if not all of the imaginable ascetic practices, including sleeping on nailed, protruding beds, eating very little, all sorts of unbeneficial practices that really does not promote and does not result in ultimate liberation. And again, is for the purpose of demonstrating to us what works and what doesn't work.
所以他这个经上也还有提，因为他苦行啊，几乎都没有洗澡，常年没有去洗澡，所以身上都长满了这个污垢，甚至于长出青苔的这个这些的算污垢里面，然后他也住过就是在坟墓里面去捡这个尸体的这个骨骼来当床，这个在经上有这样子讲。还有他的身上就是随便给人家吐痰甚至于小便这个都有，所以这个就变成说一个非常不寻常的一个视线尘劳的这个污垢。所以后面就是讲到他要去重新来过，然后去把这些把它洗掉。
So in the sutra, it described that one time he decided to go into this practice of enduring extreme uncleanliness. He let his body accumulated incredible amount of dirt and defilement to the point that the body started sprouting moss and other unclean things. He lived in a cemetery, even to the point of sleeping on skeletal bones as a bed. He allowed people to spit on him, etc., etc. Again, to thoroughly demonstrate that certain deeds are absolutely useless in helping one to cultivate towards Bodhi.
好，那就是这种视线，然后他去沐浴金流，像这个沐浴大家都应该知道，就是去洗澡这些把它弄干净。那个金流就是这里是讲金沙河流，这个金沙河流它是金黄色的，它这个河流是在尼罗禅河，尼罗禅河就是在恒河的一个支流，不是在恒河，是它的恒河里面的一条小河流。
So, completing that particular phase of his ascetic practice, he went into the river to cleanse himself. The name of that river is Naranjana. It's a major tributary of the Ganges. This particular river is auspicious, and that's where he chose to completely turn himself around, cleanse his body of the unnecessary defilement that has been accumulated.
像这个经书是它按天按四肢斗反施池，这个池就是池塘。那刚才我们一开始我们讲，就是他去尼连禅河里面去洗澡。那另外一个经典就是方广大庄严经里面，他有讲到这个，他往尼连禅河里面这个是第18品，他讲的有比较更详细。这样子就是说他这个6年苦行的时候，这个因为衣服什么东西都坏了，所以他就去坟墓的地方，就是我们讲的人家不要的丢掉的那些衣服，就是粪扫衣啊，所以他去捡的时候就是刚好有给这个地神看到，地神就告诉这个虚空神，然后就是跟虚空神讲，哦，奇怪，释迦这个太子他守掉这个转轮王位，然后他守现在去这个转轮王不做，然后去拿这个粪扫衣，然后他又把这个天神然后又往上一直抱到33天上面去，最后就传到这个阿迦尼杂天最高的地方。
So that river, Niranjana, is also called the golden stream because the sand inside is the color of gold. Now, another sutra actually gave more details of this particular episode, this demonstration, and that is in the Sutra of Expansive Great Adornment Sutra. In this chapter 7, it says about the Narayana River, where the Buddha recounted to the assembly of bhikshus details of his practice. He said, at that point, the Bodhisattva, wearing broken and dirty clothes, and decided that it's time to get rid of it. At that time, then the spirit of the earth reported to the spirit of empty space, saying, "Strange indeed, Prince Siddhartha, foregoing the throne, putting on himself this broken and filthy clothing. Why?" Upon hearing that, the spirit of empty space reported to the king of the 33rd heaven. On and on, from one heaven to another, all the way to the highest one, Aganishta heaven.
所以他去捡了这个少分衣以后，他就要去把它洗一洗。你要穿以前就是把它洗干净，所以他就去说哪里有水可以洗这个衣服啊？所以他这个刚好有一个天子，他听到，然后就在这个天子在这个释迦牟尼佛的前面，用手一指地，就变成一个水池，出现一个水池，然后这个释迦牟尼佛就想说 有了这个水池，我要洗这个衣服，我要一块石头，来洗这个衣服。然后这个给刚好他这样子想，那个尸体反应就是四谛啊，就是说，人家讲尸体反应就是是什么天宫啊，这个他就赶快听到以后就拿了一块石头，这个就是天上的人，这个拿石头以后就放在池里面，然后菩萨看了就用手用这个石头也来洗，然后当时的这个释迦这个师弟反应，他说我可不可以帮你洗，你不用洗。然后这个菩萨就是释迦牟尼佛，他是说不行，我还是我自己来洗，因为我要给以后的比丘都令他们自己洗衣服。就这样子的一个讲完以后，他就去洗衣服，然后就去洗完衣服以后就去洗澡。
After the news has spread, the Bodhisattva, the Buddha to be, says, as he was holding the broken clothing, where could I have a water to rinse this clothing? At that point, a heavenly being came upon the Bodhisattva, pointing to the ground. Suddenly a pool of water appeared. The Bodhisattva then thought that, well, where can I have a rock where I can scrub this filthy clothes? At that point, King Sakura, the heavenly king, instantly put a square piece of rock in the pond of water. And as the Bodhisattva prepared to scrub his defiled clothing, King Sakura said to him, "May I cleanse this clothing for you? I wish you could let me do it." But the Bodhisattva wanted to set the right example such that bhikshus in the future shall not bother people for cleaning of laundry. So he went ahead and did the cleaning himself and not allowed King Sakura to perform that duty for him. After he cleaned the clothes, he then went into the pond himself to cleanse his body.
所以他去洗澡的时候，魔王就是 posing， 就是把他这个层次变得很高，很高，然后给他爬不起来。那这个刚好树神阿斯那那时候他就把这个树把它按低，然后给菩萨能够起来按上，所以这个就是天暗失之，夺反失此。
The demon king Mara, at that point, turned the banks of this pond to an extreme height, such that the Bodhisattva could not climb out of the pond. Coming to his rescue, the spirit of trees, Asina, then pressed down a branch until the Bodhisattva could latch on it, so that he could climb out of the pond to the shore.
好，这个 下面经文就是灵群益从往异道场，就是说灵群这个就是一种非常有灵性的一个神鸟禽就是禽兽这样子。其实这些都是在经上讲，都是天上人所变的，这一些来在经上也有提，他这个他走去要成佛的这个菩提树下的时候，有500只青雀随从这个佛的后面走去，就是说他就在佛的后面，在那里飞，跟着一起去。
Continuing with the lecture, spiritual birds follow him to arriving at the way place. These 2 sentences are explained in the Sutra of Infinite Life explanation. Spiritual birds are following him is because they respect him. In fact, in the sutras, it says 500 bluebirds always follow the Buddha.
好，这个不只是青雀，还有孔雀、白鹤、嘉陵、平雀，就是说像《阿弥陀经》上面的这些共命之鸟，就是那些鸟都有够500，都是绕着这个佛，然后去他修行的这个道场，就往移道场。这个道场就是讲他修行的地方。这个出去的时候，就好像一个非常国王要出行的这个壮观，百鸟益从，然后非常一个殊胜的这个，然后还有出和雅音，围绕着菩萨。
In fact, not only bluebirds, there are peacocks, cranes, white cranes, calavinkers, the birds with dual heads. In fact, each group of birds numbering 500 following and protecting the Buddha to his place of cultivation, true cultivation. Of course, that is a demonstration of the supreme circumstances of the Buddha to be the Bodhisattva.
所以这个像往移道场就是去道场。这个讲起来道场很多修行的地方也是道场。你供佛供斋的地方都是道场。像我们Berkeley大家来这边修行，这个也是一个道场。王佛圣城去那边也是一个道场，就是修行的地方都是叫道场。
Speaking of location for cultivation, really, it's not only just for the place where indeed cultivation happens, but even in places where offerings of cultivation, offering of that we make, for instance, at our monastery, these are all known as way places for cultivation.
我们现在来讲一个很有名的一个道场，就是打坐的参禅的道场，它就是江苏扬州的高明寺。高明寺它是非常有名，那个是虚云老和尚那个道场。他也是在那里开悟的。
We like now to relate a very interesting story about a cultivation way place, the way place of the Venerable Xu Yuan empty cloud, and very, very famous way place in China. And in fact, this monastery is where the Venerable Xu Yuan empty cloud attained enlightenment.
那个，所以非常有名，也很多人喜欢去，包括那时候清朝的这个乾隆皇帝也去过参禅，这个事情在高明寺有记载的。
So this way place is indeed tremendously well known, even to the point that during the height of the Qing dynasty, the fourth emperor Qianlong and his father Kangxi both went there to cultivate and participate in meditation session.
所以他们去高明寺去打禅呢，就是因为高明寺的禅是很严格的，你没有做好就会吃相反的，所以这个乾隆皇帝他也说我想来做香。
高明 Monastery, the name of this particular way place, famous only because its rules for the Chan Hall is the most severe, most strict. If someone who is not doing well during meditation will be reminded by the incense board. So Qianlong, the great emperor, wanted to take on that challenge and went to Gaomin for a meditation session.
所以乾隆他就去了以后，就把他的官服把它换成出家服，就给人家认不出来。那当然，当时因为那个维诺他们都是过来人。因为天天在看水怎么样，他就知道，他也知道他是一个皇帝。
To avoid attracting unnecessary attention, Qianlong took off his official garb and put on ordinary clothing so that nobody would know that that is him. Well, the Weino, the person in charge of the Chan Hall, happened to be one with spiritual penetration. So immediately he knew that he's dealing with the emperor himself.
然后他这个在那里，他跟着人家做香、跑香、做香一段时间以后，乾隆他就想说。哦，这里跑香那么紧张，又那么严格，不如在皇宫里面、御花园里面散散心来得更好。他动了这个念头这个时候的维诺斯就过来，就给他啪啪啪三个香榜。
Well, after a bit of time, Qianlong started to wonder, his mind started to wonder, well, this whole place is so straight and tense and the rules are so straight. Man, I really wish I'm back in the palatial garden and just kick back a bit, that would be kind of fine. Well, as soon as he had that thought, the Weino, the monk that's in charge, came over and quickly gave him 3 incense board.
然后被打了以后，这个皇帝啊，他也不敢吭声，因为在大众里面啊，他不能够吭声。然后打完桑板以后，这个皇帝就看了这个维诺盯着他，他心里在想，哎，我又没有什么犯什么规矩，干嘛你打我？哎，等一下开镜以后啊，做完香以后，我出去以后就杀你的头。
Well, this time the emperor did not dare to say anything or make any protest because he knew that the rules are very strict in that Chan hall. And he only looked at the Waynor and thought that, well, you know, you hit me, but I didn't break any rule. This is what I'm going to do when this session is over, when the incense burnt, when we all get out, I'm going to just lop your head off.
所以这个维纳斯又赶快又跑到他的前面，又给他啪啪啪三个板。
Instantly, the Waynor went up to him and gave him 3 more hits with the incense board. Pop, pop, pop.
这个皇帝被打了，就真的很放不下心了，就是说很生气，然后因为在这个禅堂里面是不可以乱发出声音来，他只好忍着，就等要开镜。
Well, this hit was more than the emperor could take. He was just livid. But he had the discipline. He understood that in the Chan hall, he couldn't do anything. So he endured it.
所以他就等一开镜，他就跑去方丈室去见方丈，说刚才那个维诺啊，我又没有什么犯规，跑我就跑，然后做我就做，都跟大家一样，但是他为什么先打我3板？
So soon as the incense is over, he went straight to the abbot's room, says, hey, that Waynor, I don't know what happened to him. I did not break any rule. I follow everybody as they walk the incense. I sat down just like everyone else. But he first hit me 3 times when I didn't say anything and didn't do anything.
所以那个就把那个方丈就把那个维诺就叫过来，就问他说你刚才你为什么做得好好的，你就给他三香板呢？然后是什么理由？就叫他解释。
So the abbot sent for the Waynor and asked him, well, the emperor here asked, why suddenly you hit him a couple of times? And why did you did that twice to him?
他那个这样子的就是方丈问说，皇上在问你为什么打他3板？那他是说我不是打皇上啊，我是打那个人在想游览这个御花园的人，而他根本就不是好好在坐禅，跑来这里想要游览这个御花园干什么？
So the Waino said, look, I didn't hit any emperor. I was just hitting a guy who was daydreaming about goofing off in the palatial garden. I didn't hit any emperor. And if he was, this guy with such scattered thought should not be here in our Chan hall. Why would he be here if he wants to be in the garden?
然后这个皇上又说，那你为什么又第二次又打我？是干什么？
Well, then the emperor said, okay, well then how come the second time? What about the second time when you hit me?
那个维农师讲，第二次打的是要想杀人的人啊，想杀的人我不打他。那我怎么可以想杀的人就一定要被打
？The Waino did not give him an inch and said, the second time I hit a guy who wanted to kill. When you see someone who wanted to kill someone, shouldn't I do something and hit him?
所以这样子跟他讲出来以后啊。这个乾隆皇帝就知道说，这个维农不是一般人，所以他动什么念头他都知道，所以就跟这个维农顶礼，所以这样子的话就真的打禅的时候不可以乱想东想西的。
Whereupon the emperor knew he is not dealing with anyone. He knew now that the Waino is not an ordinary person, that every one of his thoughts has no place to hide, thoroughly understood and saw by the Waino. So immediately he got up and bowed to the Waino Shi.
还有我们像这个灵群啊，灵群就是它也是算一种非常有灵性，它也可以知道一般人的想，不要看灵群，灵群有时候也是菩萨去在那里修行的。我们现在也讲一个大唐西域经里面记载的一个大雁塔的故事。
So back to talking about the spiritual births. Sometimes spiritual births are transformation bodies of bodhisattvas themselves. So here I would like to relate a story from Great Master Shen Zhang, from his record of the western regions of the Tang Dynasty.
在这个印度那时候的一个地方啊，就是有一座寺院呢，里面有僧年，就是出家人，然后他信奉就是那时候像比较小乘的方面，他们都可以允许吃肉的。那有一天这个肉就比较少了，没有什么肉吃。
So this particular episode has to do with the stupor of wild geese. It was said that in ancient India, in the cave of King Sakra, that there was a monastery. The monastics inside went by Hinayana practice, Hinayana Buddhism, the small vehicle, and that particular sect allows consumption of meat.
它这个可以吃肉，它是应该是吃三净肉 好像是说不见杀，不是为他杀，然后没有听到这个杀，就被杀的这个声音，所以这个有三净肉他们可以吃，所以但是就是说，有时候也会找不到这种的肉，所以就有一个比丘啊，他在外面走路的时候，就看见这个一群这个燕子啊，就飞过去，然后就跟他说，如今这个肉食不够，菩萨应该要知道啊，就是这样子讲的声音出来。
Now, of course, this practice of consumption of meat is not like our kind of practice. The meat has to be presented to the monastics under three conditions. That the killing of the animal must not be seen and heard, and also must not be purposefully killed for the benefit of the monastics. So this is a practice called the three purified meat. In any case, that's what they practice. So one day, one of the bhikshus walking outside the monastery saw that a group of wild geese was flying over. So he said to them, well, today we don't have enough meat to eat. Bodhisattvas should know about this difficulty that we have.
所以他刚讲完这一句话以后，就有一只这个大雁啊，它就忽然，因为他们这一群嘛，然后就忽然间又飞一只大雁就飞回来，然后就撞在地上就死掉了，然后这个就是说要用它的这个燕肉来献身给他们肉食。
Instantly, one of the geese, a big one, suddenly made a U-turn, went at him and plunged himself onto the ground and died. And obviously it's an act of self-sacrifice to offer meat for the consumption of the monastics.
所以这个这样子的事情发生啊，这个比丘就回去跟大家报告这个事情，然后大家就非常的悲伤感动。
The bhikshu related what happened to his companions, to his fellow cultivators, and of course everyone was just completely heartbroken to the point of crying and moved by the act of this wild goose.
所以这个发生这个事情，就所有的寺庙里面的僧众就讲，哇，这个是一个燕子菩萨来示现给我们，我们怎么样子可以忍心来吃它呢？当时这个佛陀受这个教法给我们吃三净肉，他是要给我们修行以后能够走大乘方面去走，不要再吃这个三净肉。这个三净肉只是一个方便引导，所以我们这样子的愚痴死守这样子的像要吃肉的这个，所以今天这个燕子来给大家殉命，就是说给大家牺牲他的性命啊，他是来教训我们的，所以我们应该要改过，不要再吃肉。
They all said, have the same thought that this wild goose is a bodhisattva, demonstrating a certain principle to us. How could we continue to bring forth the heart of eating meat. Really thinking about it, when the Buddha established Hinayana Buddhism, the end purpose is to lead us into Mahayana. And if we stick with the words of the Buddha, who said you can consume meat of 3 purity, and not knowing that, not comprehending that that is just an experience for us to move into the next phase, then we're just a bunch of deluded people. And if we continue to be like this, then the wild goose sacrificing his life is for naught. And we should understand that this is a teaching. And it's the teaching of the Buddha to basically tell us not to do it again. So they vow not to consume meat going forth.
好，因为这个晏子菩萨的这个事情呢，他是被传记在这个晏子塔，在也是把这个晏子埋在这个塔底下作为纪念。他这个是在印度的地方。其实这个像这样子晏子塔，在中国也有很多的晏子塔还像唐藏这个玄奘带回来的经典都是存放在晏子塔里面。
So to commemorate and to be grateful of the teaching of this wild goose, they established a stupa and calling it the wild goose stupa, burying the wild goose underneath to commemorate him. In fact, both India and China have wild goose stupas, pagodas. In fact, the one established in China, when Great Master Xuanzang came back from India, all the sutras that he brought back were stored in the Chinese wild goose pagoda.
好，我们再讲一个陵寝，像在中国古代尧舜，知道我们尧舜他是非常有很好的一个治理国家，这个叫做禅让政治。那个像舜帝的时候，他非常孝顺，父母亲对他不好，母亲父亲还不错，母亲对他不好，然后他也不常常虐待他，他也不也没有什么恶意，然后甚至也想要把他弄死，他也没有其他的不好的想法对待这个后母，所以像他在外面工作的时候，耕地的时候，就有像那个大象跟他耕地，然后一群的鸟来跟他除草，这个事情都是记载在历史上的。
Another story about animals are not simple things. This time has to do with, this is a Chinese story, has to do with Emperor Sun in ancient China. Sun was not an ordinary person. He was extremely filial and extremely hardworking. His mother, his stepmother, and his younger brother abused him constantly, to the point of even wanting to end his life. But yet those difficult situations did not alter him, did not affect him at all. He continued to be very respectful and very obedient. Well, his incredible conduct moved even the heavens. The heavens knew that he was a person of great conduct, so that decided to help him, so that when he was tilling the field, suddenly a great elephant would appear to help him till the soil, and then later on a big group of birds came upon the field and rid the field of weed.
好，我像现在今天我们都在念佛，我想我们讲这个是一个念佛道场。那这个我再举一个跟大家来鼓励的这个念佛的好处。念佛的，在唐朝的这个道哲禅师里面，《安乐集》里面有提到这个念佛人在他是不是可以获得大福德，然后可以增加延年益寿的事情，他有解答。
Well, an extension of what we're talking about here, since today earlier we had a session of Buddha recitation, the mindful Buddha recitation session, and we are a way place for Buddha recitation. So I would like to bring up an example of the benefit of reciting the Buddha's name. This came from a Chan master of the Tang Dynasty, Dao Char. He wrote that about this particular story, that reciting the Buddha's name has tremendous benefit in terms of adding one's lifespan and benefiting one's longevity.
那他答是一定可以的。为什么？因为在这个《唯无三昧经》里面他举了一个例子。他说有2个兄弟这个哥哥他信因果，弟弟呢他没有信，所以但是这个弟弟没有信因果呢，但是他会看他的面相，他自己的能够知道面相。他有一天呢，他去在镜子上面看到，我的面相怎么出现这个死相了？而且他因为他有这种的面相的知识，而且很快的不到7天，所以就会有这样子的事情发生。
So, answering this particular question of whether Buddha recitation is greatly beneficial, Master Dao Che says, definitely, there should be no doubt, because, for instance, in the Samadhi Sutra, a story was related to us that there were 2 brothers. The older brother believed in cause and effect, but the younger brother had absolutely nothing to do with it, has no faith. On the other hand, the younger brother has this ability of looking and deciphering one's countenance, one's facial expression. So one day he was looking into the mirror and saw that his own face has the appearance of death. Death is coming upon him. And in fact, he understood that in 7 days he's going to be gone.
所以他很担心，然后他去问这个能够怎样子来解决？那有一个就是有智慧的人，他就叫他说：“你干脆你这样子，你就去请教这个佛陀好了。”
Well, luckily he ran into a person of wisdom who told him, well, don't fret over it. Why don't you go and ask the Buddha?
所以这个佛陀就跟他说：“对，依照这样子来看，你7天会死掉，这个是真实不虚的。然后，但是有一个方法，就是你能够一心念佛修行，然后又修戒，或者是这样子可以度过你的难关。”
The Buddha told him, "Yep, for sure in 7 days you're going to be gone." On the other hand, if you single-mindedly be mindful of the Buddha, recite his name, and cultivate precepts, maybe you can skip it.
所以这个他听了以后，就真的照佛陀这样子来教导，然后他就一直细念，就是一直在念佛，然后他一直念到刚才讲7天嘛，他念到6天的时候，晚上真的有2个鬼来了，然后又听到他在念佛的声音，但是这个因为他听到这个念佛的声音这个鬼就不能够再前进，不能够进去屋子里面。
So this younger brother actually is a good man. He immediately followed the Buddha's suggestion and teaching, and was mindful of the Buddha for the next 7 days. At the 6th day, sure enough, a couple of ghosts appeared. But these ghosts heard that he was reciting the Buddha's name, heard that sound. They tried to enter the house, but to no avail.
所以他进去不能够进去屋子里面，他就回去告诉这个阎罗王的事情，然后阎罗王他打开一下这个簿子，他说：“哦，原来他这个簿子里面已经有加注了，加注就是说他念佛加注，因为他由于持戒念佛，就是刚才跟他讲说你要持戒念佛，然后这个功德然后所以他就度过这个难关，然后延寿。”他最后死的时候还升到天上第3阎摩天上去。
So frustrated, the 2 ghosts went back to their boss, King Yama, the Lord of the underworld. King Yama says, "Show me your mantra." The piece of mantra on paper. So, and he looked at that and said, "Holy, somebody added a new instruction. That this person, because of upholding the precepts and be mindful of the Buddha, has acquired merits and virtue. That now his lifespan has been extended. In fact, upon the end of his life, he shall ascend to the 3rd heaven, the Yama heaven."
那这个这样子一个比例，还有一个在比喻经里面也有提到，有一个长者，他也不信刚才不信邪，不信符这些 T 就是很铁齿，然后但是他呢，他已经是50岁的人，他 晚上有一天他做梦，梦到有一个鬼来要取他的性命，而且这个是蛮凶的，也是不超过10天，但是他这样子的这个梦啊，那醒了以后就非常的恐怖，然后他又去这样子事情发生以后，他就去找这个相师，就是算命的人，占梦的人，然后这个占梦的这些人啊，就告诉他说，是的，是有这个差利鬼要来伤害，你10天以内，他是要来害你，要害死你的。
Another story from the Sutra of Allegories. An elder who did not have any faith in the matter of offenses and blessing. This guy was already 50. One night, suddenly he had this dream of a ghost coming to take his life. In fact, telling him, you only got 10 days. So this old man woke up completely frightened and looking for people to help him. And went over to a fortune teller and told him what happened. And the fortune teller looked into the matter and said, "Yep, a ghost is coming to do you in, and you only got 10 days."
所以他这个非常听了非常害怕，然后也是去佛陀那里请求，佛陀也是告诉他，你要专念佛、烧香啊，然后像因为他不信邪嘛，然后叫他信三宝，那你就可以免掉这一次的死。
Extremely afraid, this person also went to see the Buddha. The Buddha told him, "Well, I'll tell you one way to avoid this pending calamity. From here on out, if you resolutely be mindful of the Buddha, uphold the precepts, and return yourself to have faith in the triple jewel, perhaps then you can avoid this impending death."
所以这个人当然就是到了这个死头啊，就是他也能够专心来向佛念佛，然后他做这个修这个功德以后啊，这些鬼来到，真的也是没有办法进门拿他走所以他这样子的一个念佛修行的功德，最后他也是活到100多岁，100岁，经书上说100岁，然后死了以后也是升到天上。
This man faithfully adopted this method and faithfully cultivated and accumulated merits and virtue, and to the point that also the ghosts had to get out of there. And because of this practice, this cultivation, this man was able to live to a full 100 years. In fact, upon his death, he ascended to the heavens.
所以这个非常给我们鼓励，我们就是好好念佛。另外，他也有在讲出另外一个长者，叫做直持的长者。因为佛陀叫他你要守戒律啊，他没有听，他就把戒律退还给佛陀，结果马上就被那个恶鬼打一顿。
So stories like these give us a lot of encouragement to do the right thing. Here's yet another story about another elder. His name was stuck in upholding. He received the precepts, but later on he returned the precepts back to the Buddha. Immediately he was beat up thoroughly by a bunch of ferocious ghosts.
像这样子的问题，因为你受戒啊，受戒的时候会有戒神，保护你，但是你没有好好守戒的话，这一些戒神离开，护法神也离开，当然这些就是给恶鬼来惩罚你的时机，所以大家要非常小心。我们要往修行，要讲戒律、修戒，然后我们念佛，那是正确的。像今天大家念佛是非常的，他们都念得非常法喜，真的念了下来不同。
Well, receiving the precepts is a good thing, but if you don't uphold the precepts after receiving them, the Dharma protecting spirits would be greatly disappointed, and they're gonna just leave. That gives ferocious spirits, ghosts, the chance, the opportunity to come and do something to you, to teach a lesson. So like today, our Buddha recitation session was truly a supreme one. Everybody was filled with Dharma bliss. So that is a tremendous way of increasing one's blessing.
How? Okay. Yeah.
For the 5 precepts, if a person accidentally say like a false speech, and does the repentance, the Samatthapatras repent and reform, would that help?
他说，如果受了5戒，譬如不小心讲了说了谎，如果去忏悔，有没有作用？
你犯戒忏悔是有用，不是没有用，是有用。你要忏悔在法师前面忏悔，或者是佛菩萨前面，最好是在像我们有做受戒的时候，你可以站出来讲你的事情，然后再当场忏悔，这样子会更好。
Yes, repentance is a very expedient way, very effective way. You can repent to a monastic or to the Buddhas and Bodhisattva. One of the most effective way is to be in front of the assembly and expose yourself of your offense.
是有用的。
阿弥陀佛 ，Thank you.
Yeah. OK， 我们今天的时间到了，我们就到这里，然后我不知道大家有没有问题，没有问题的话，我们就没有问题的话，线上有没有问题？好，我们明天开始这边就开始打禅期，打禅3个礼拜。3个礼拜， 早晚一样的有坐禅开放。那这个其他时间就是男的法师在这边，男众这边做打禅的这个3个礼拜，有这样子的一个就是一个 program， 所以你们还是可以来打早上跟晚上1个小时，各1个小时的在这边坐禅。
Starting tomorrow, we're going to begin our 3-week-long Chan session. Both in the morning and in the afternoon, we'll be sitting in meditation. You're welcome to come and participate. What is 1 hour, 2 hours throughout these 3 weeks? We're going to be doing that, and it's tremendously supreme.
好，没有的话我想就到这里，我们后面来做回向。
Let's return the merits.
我们请大家起立，我们用中文诗的回向。OK， we stand up. We will do the Chinese style, the Saint Mary. 你可以站那边没关系。愿以此功德，庄严佛净土，上报四重恩，下济三途苦。若有见闻者，悉发菩提心，尽此一报身，同生极乐国。顶礼老和尚，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀